I don't even know how to start this particular video. I mean, here's how I'm gonna start it. 6'5", 270 pounds. Those are the measurables for a Cam Newton, who was a superstar quarterback for the Carolina Panthers for many years. You're talking about a physical specimen that dominated and made professional athletes, top tier defensive tackles, top tier defensive ends look like children on certain plays, shoving them aside like they were his kids. And you decide you want to pick a fight with him? Oh man, what's going on? This is your boy Jordan JC back on the ATS report. I know I've been gone for a minute, kind of been under the weather, dealing with some health issues, but I appreciate all you all's patience. I am back again, and this was especially a topic I wanted to talk on because it is insanity. Obviously, we'll address the serious side of this, and why it's another stain on technically our community, but at the same time, also addressing the fact that what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Did you think that you could really, even if it was six against one? I know in the video particularly, there probably were three particular guys from one of the youth football camps, or one of the youth football teams at the youth football camp that jumped Cam Newton, and the issues around it, or the reason around it, I'm not exactly sure. I know I specifically saw one guy who posted about Cam Newton not being him, or kind of putting salt on his name. I'm not exactly sure what the real reason is for, but of course, in our community, we've seen things like this happen where sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason for why people get jumped. They just do it because maybe there's a reputation behind it. Maybe you think you're going to get some sort of street cred. It is insanity, and it's also distasteful. There's a lack of taste. It's disgusting to see for the community in general, the black community. But at the same time, when you have somebody who has been in the spotlight for a number of years, and who is, for all accounts from what we've seen, is trying to give back, not just to his community, but give back in a positive light with his podcast, the Fourth and One podcast, all the things that he's doing in a positive light. And yet when he comes to give of his time and give back to a youth camp, the 7-on-7 tournament, this is what you do. And this could eventually lead to people like Cam Newton not giving of his time, not giving of his resources, potentially maybe taking a step back. Now, I'm not saying that he can't hold his own, because as you saw in the video, again, the man treated him exactly like what they were, like kids. He had one in the headlock, he dragged one by the braids, and he did all of this without punching. And I'm glad that he didn't even throw a punch, because again, that could have went back on him. Shout out to Cam and Mason, their podcast, because they even mentioned that, it could have been a lawsuit. And that's the unfortunate thing, is that when you have somebody who's in the spotlight, they're put under a more of a lens and continue to get scrutinized a little bit more. And so I'm glad that he didn't necessarily retaliate in the way that he could have, because we're talking about somebody who's getting jumped. If you've ever gotten jumped, and I've gotten jumped in high school, I was swinging and throwing all type of punches left and right. And whether it connected or not, that's what I was doing. Some did connect. But if you're getting jumped and you're outnumbered by that large of a margin, no matter how big you are, no matter how strong you are, you need to defend yourself, or as we say, fight or flight, right? And so with that in mind, it was very respectable. It was very, I thought that Cam Newton held himself or contained himself as best as he possibly could, given the situation, by just holding these kids down. He knew that they probably wouldn't be that much of a competition or a challenge, and so he just held them down. He slung one off of him, and kept holding them down until the staff, who I thought did a horrible job of seeing the situation in the first place and trying to make sure that it didn't escalate in the beginning. But, that's neither here nor there, because that could have just happened out of nowhere. When people start barking and talking, you kind of get, caught off guard by the actions. And so it's just, again, another stain on just the whole conversation around, the black people and how we treat each other, and the issue of, how we need to kind of be better than what we've shown, in the spotlight. And I think this again is just kind of disrespectful. First of all, disrespectful to Cam Newton. As I said, he gave of his time. And again, what were you thinking? Did you think that you were going to really take down somebody who is that tall, that big, that strong, that athletic, still past his whether it passed his playing prime? The man is still a specimen to behold. And so just craziness that was going on. I hope that those that were involved truly take away a life lesson from this, that hey, when you go up against somebody, it's not always going to be sweet. Even if you got 4 or 5 of your guys, you're going up against somebody and you think that you can take them on just because it's a number of you guys versus one big giant. Sometimes the giant wins, and you have to be smarter than that. And then there's also other ways of resolving differences. Again, like I said, I don't know the full details behind why it even escalated to that point, but unfortunately, I've seen that in my community where you get jumped just to get jumped. And that's the unfortunate thing with our society as a whole, because there's other races that do it as well, but our society as a whole, I think, has an issue with this type of altercation. Like, you resolve things in a respectful, in a dignified manner. And I think that, again, this is showing that even if you're a professional athlete, if you're somebody with a certain level of fame to your name, that you still have to be careful. You have to watch your back. And so it's unfortunate. Thankfully, Cam Newton came away unscathed. The man had his hat on, that witch hat or whatever kind of hat he had on. That man, I heard RG3 talk about it. He said that hat was glued to his head like it was part of his skin. And I started cracking up laughing. I mean, the hat was immovable. He said that's the type of loyalty you need, is the type of hat he had on, because that hat wasn't going nowhere. And that just shows you how phased he was by the whole situation. But again, just crazy moment. And obviously, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are talking about it. But just want to get you guys' thoughts on that. What do we need to do? This type of thing happens, unfortunately, from time to time, whether it be in the Black community or just in general around the world. What is it that needs to be done so these type of things continue to kind of de-escalate and not happen? There needs to be more conversations around that, maybe. And I'm not trying to be some activist. This is not a channel for talking about, a whole bunch of things, and especially in like the political realm or things like that. But, I just wanted to get my thoughts on that and see what you guys think about this situation and how it could have been handled better. Obviously, Cam handled himself as best as possible, I think, as respectful as possible by not even throwing hands with these guys. They were old enough to get that work, but he was respectful enough of them. And so, I'll be down there with you guys in the comment section. And again, look out for some more videos coming. I'm going to be talking about Patrick Kane coming up, celebrating his comeback for the first time and also winning in the overtime. So check out that vid. That's coming soon. Probably going to be dropping that today. But again, just happy to be back. I apologize for being away as always, not being as consistent as I want to be. But again, that's just me dealing with health issues. So continue to rock with me. Subscribe to the channel. I still got about 400 subscribers. I'm trying to get my road to 1,000 as always. About 90% of you guys that are viewing the channel are not subscribed. So please continue to subscribe to the channel. Support the community. Support this ATS report on its way up. And as always, comment, like, and subscribe, share this video with others, show some class, and I'll see you guys on the next ATS report.